Do.
All rise, hold the floor.
Robert Connors.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Your Honor, this is State of South Carolina versus Antonio Ricardo Wragg. He is here, originally charged with distribution of methamphetamine. It's been reduced to a possession first offense of methamphetamine. The indictment is 2020 GS 14-0327. Originally, I had offered a $100 fine, but I didn't realize he was in jail at the time. So the state is going to be recommending time served on that. He's represented by his attorney, Chris Tyrone.
Okay, Mr. Ray's already sworn, I believe.
Yes, ma'am, I believe.
Mr. Ray, I'm Judge Curtis. Sorry, I understand that you're here today to plead guilty to possession of less than 1 gram of methamphetamine, first offense. That offense carries up to 3 years. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
You've talked this over with your attorney, Mr. Durant.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you happy with what your lawyer's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing all your rights, Mr. Ray, you plead guilty or not?
Guilty.
If I can get the facts, Mr. Little.
Your Honor, this happened on August 25th of 2020 on Bradham Road in Clarendon County. Officers observed a vehicle at a high rate of speed cross the center line in oncoming lane, so they made a traffic stop. Found Mr. Wragg. I believe they saw a rifle in the car, and that led them to conduct a search. They found several baggies of methamphetamine, which has been tested and came back to methamphetamine.
Those facts true, Mr. Ray? Okay, you found there's a sufficient factual basis for me to accept the plea, and I find that you're entering the plea today freely and voluntarily, understanding your rights and the advice of Mr. Durant, a very competent lawyer. Sir, you have 10 days from today to implement to appeal the conviction. And the recommendation is time served. How many days credit does he have? Do y'all know?
He served about 2 months and really the rest of him is charged. He's been in Suffolk County, I think since June, on some driving offenses. And unfortunately, he will not get out today. He has some time left, so I don't recommend those charges. But it's my understanding that he has some time left to serve those charges. I think the state taking that into consideration in this call as well.
Okay, and Mr. Durant, I've got here if you want something.
Judge, he's 36 years old. He's very polite, very easy to deal with. I found him to be a very respectful young man. I think it was a fair recommendation. I appreciate the state's offer and their strong caution.
So, I know you said he's going to be in for a little bit longer on this.
I think he has a hearing date on September the 12th on the habitual traffic offender out of Suffolk County. It's our expectation to start a little bit more time.
What I would propose then is I'll just like 60 days time served. So he's been in for at least 60 days, right?
Yes.
Since June.
Yes, ma'am.
I think, yes, Your Honor, with the time, if you give credit for the time since June, we do it.
Okay, so what I'm doing is 60 days time served, giving corresponding credit for at least the 60 days. And that was clear this up for you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is the State of South Carolina versus Everette, Deon, Sabb. Indictment 2021 GS 14-0002, 2022 GS 14-0238, and 2022 GS 14-0235. He is charged with distribution of methamphetamine first offense, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, possession with intent to distribute cocaine base. Another possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and then a possession with intent to distribute cocaine base first, and a possession with intent to distribute marijuana. You should have all those charges in front of you, Your Honor. The recommendation on this is 15 years suspended to 90 days, followed by 3 years probation. The state doesn't have any problem if he wants to do that on weekend time or not do it on weekend time. We don't have any problem with that, Your Honor. And I think on a couple of those, Your Honor, I wrote just 90 days, just to try to maybe trim down the amount he was on probation on some of the charges. But that would be the state's recommendation. He's represented by his attorney, Sean Kent, and Jack First.
Okay. So I'm showing 4 charges that he's pleading to today. Is that correct?
It is, well,
I'm showing a,
that's right. So that was indictment 235, ending in 235 and 002. So the one ending in 023 is being dismissed within this plea. I'm sorry about that.
okay, so I've got indictment 235 and I've got indictment 002.
Yes, Your Honor, and that should be is that 4 charges?
It is.
Okay.
And Mr. First, that's your understanding?
That's fine.
So, Mr. Sabb, what I'm understanding is that you are pleading to 1 count of distribution of methamphetamine, first offense, that carries up to 15 years. 1 count of distribution of cocaine base, again, carries up to 15. That's on one indictment. Second indictment, distribution of cocaine base, first offense, and it's like possession of intent to distribute marijuana that carries up to 15.
That's good.
Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've had a chance to discuss with your attorney your decision to enter this plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you happy with what Mr. First has done for you? Knowing all of your rights, Mr. Sabb, are you pleading guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Little, I can hear facts, sir.
Beg the court's indulgence, Your Honor. I'm looking at this case, and it looks like he was originally charged on that first indictment, the one ending in 002, with cocaine base. When that was actually tested, it was tested as just cocaine, and indicted as such. So I think the sentencing sheet may be wrong. The sentence should, the potential penalty should be the same, but I'm trying to find the CDR code so you can change that, Your Honor.
Okay, so it should just be under the manufacturer distribution center of cocaine.
That's correct, Your Honor. And I think that may actually fall under the CDR code is 0183. But the penalty is the same, Your Honor, and I apologize for that.
Okay, I'll make sure we've got the correct CDR code on before we send that to Ms. Buell.
Your Honor, this time, this first indictment, one ending in 0002. This occurred on August 25th, 2020. Law enforcement was patrolling the Somerton area of Clarendon County when they observed a truck traveling at a high rate of speed, 65 and 45. They initiated a traffic stop, smelled marijuana coming from the vehicle. When they did a search of the vehicle, they found drugs. That did come back after being tested in the lab to 2.62 grams of cocaine and 3.54 grams of methamphetamine. Your Honor, the indictment ending in 0235 occurred on June 23rd, 2020 here in Clarendon County, Your Honor. It was a confidential informant approached Mr. Sabb, conducted a transaction, purchased a quantity of what was suspected to be suspected to be heroin and crack cocaine. When they actually tested it, it did come back to crack cocaine and heroin, and that transaction was $400, Your Honor.
Warrant ending in 406.
That's a narcotic drug is Schedule 1, Your Honor, I think.
I think I recited it as gateway ID marijuana. But it's pleading to is,
I think I may, did I type it as marijuana on there?
it just says narcotics, Schedule 1, B and C, LSD, and Schedule 2, first offense.
I think that heroin would still fall under that schedule. It just doesn't specify that. I think the heroin is a
So I
schedule.
said marijuana, that's the heroin charge. And it carries up to 15 years. So are those facts true, Mr. Sabb?
Yes, ma'am.
I do find that there's a sufficient factual basis for me to accept the plea, and I find that you're entering the plea today freely and voluntarily, understanding your rights and the advice of Mr. First. I'm very confident here. You've got 10 days from today's date if you wanted to appeal the conviction. Mr. First?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Mr. Sabb is 33 years old. He's from Somerton. Your Honor, he graduated from Scotts Branch High School, and he still resides in Somerton to this day. We're very appreciative of the state, in this case, for making these recommendations. And Your Honor, we're just asking that you follow these recommendations. The only other issue that I would like to bring before the court is that we would request that Mr. Sabb have 1 week to turn himself in to serve the 90-day sentence here in the county jail. We just asked for that time period, and I don't believe the state has an issue with that, Your Honor.
I don't have any problem with that, Your Honor.
So that he can get some of his affairs together, so that he doesn't go completely under during this 90-day period. When he is able to get out, will be at least somewhat on his. So other than that, we ask him to follow.
And is your plan intended to just go ahead and serve in that day straight up?
That's correct, Your Honor. He does not intend to be weekend time. Have service breaks.
For what it's worth, I think that's a good decision. I've rarely had anybody actually complete all their 90-day weekend time. And you don't get credit for time served. You know, you go in and you serve your time, and you get credit just by day to day. But if you do weekends, you got to do 90 days. And that gets old really fast. And then people don't come back. So you're not starting out probation on the break, but so the agreement is 15 years suspended, 90 days, followed by, am I showing 3 years probation?
3 years.
It looked like
Yes.
I couldn't tell if it was 5 and changed to 3.
It was 5 and changed to 3.
Okay.
I think that was the original plea offer that they made, and I just misunderstood Ms. Pierce's notes.
Okay, I'm glad to go along with that. Mr. Scott, significant camera that is hanging over your head. Your lawyer has done a tremendous job for you that you're getting a very short period of incarceration followed by that 3 years of probation. During the probationary period, I'm just requiring random drug and alcohol testing during that time. But I think the biggest thing is you've got to stay out of trouble and not get arrested for anything. Again, you've got a lot of time hanging over your head. I just want you to understand that that probation needs to work for you. It's been a good deal. It's not a good deal if you don't intend to abide by probation. If you intend to go along and do what you're supposed to do with probation, it's a great deal. So the sentence of the court is 15 years, suspended to service of 90 days, and followed by probation for 3 years. These sentence on each of these concurrent, checking the box if there's any previous time for him to get credit for. And again, the condition of probation would be random drug and alcohol testing. Anything else I need to address?
Your Honor, the returning date.
Yes, I'm fine with that. Are we just going to say you're going to turn yourself in next Friday?
Next Friday,
Which is August 26th. Okay. I'll write that on the sheet as well.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir.
Your Honor, this is State of South Carolina versus Dusty Lee Halton. The indictment number, and the warrant numbers on this is 2021 A14 424, 425, 426, 427. He's got 4 counts of distribution of methamphetamine, second offense. Your Honor, I'm not going to go into the facts on all those. It's all the same. All involves confidential informant buys. This is the case we talked about in chambers. The main issue here is what the result of a probation violation is. He's got a pending probation violation, Your Honor. I think that will probably take care of the bond situation if you hear from probation on that.
And please the court, Your Honor, Mr. Altman is currently on probation for indictment 21 GS 14100 for distribution of methamphetamine. He was sentenced by Judge Cochran on March 2nd, 2021, and received a sentence of 10 years suspended to 5 years probation, court costs of $283.25, and substance abuse counseling. Present violations is that he failed to follow advice instructions of the agent, and that the courts, and that he was terminated from substance abuse counseling for non-attendance and refusal to take drug tests on 2 occasions. He was instructed on December 16, 2021 to re-sign up for clarity behavioral for his court-ordered substance abuse classes, which he was terminated within 1 week and failed to do so as of February 2nd, 2022. Failing to follow advice instructions of the agent, and that he was instructed on November 15, 2021 to make contact with Sumter County Solicitor's Office concerning his October 7, 2020 arrest for assault and battery. Failing to refrain from the use of illegal substance, in that he did admit on February 3rd, 2022 to smoking marijuana and using meth 5 times over the past 2 weeks. Failing to pay supervision fees, being $100 in arrears. He was supposed to have an administrative hearing on March the 2nd, 2022, and he failed to attend that hearing. He was scheduled to appear in General Sessions Court on March the 25th, 2022 to handle the violation hearing, and that's when he got picked up for these pending drug charges that he is in jail for now. Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor, we have been through this in chambers now. Put this on the record. We got an addiction. This young man has had an epiphany. His mother was everything they said is true. He did not run this far. So, we didn't reach this situation. The sober guy stands in front of me. I went through this with my sister. Up in New York, landscape designer for Solomon Washington, Carl Icahn, wonderful kid, wonderful couple, and genetics, a lot of family, people were talking to took over. And my daughter and I got her into treatment. Right at the last minute. Wouldn't take her treatment to her hospital. A year and a half later, she was last sleeping. My daughter called me from Birmingham on my sister's birthday and said, "What are you going to say? We got our mama back." But it took 3 months of inpatient. Get my sister back. Talked to this gentleman in there, I had to tell him how we felt. He said, "Mr. Shane, I'm ready. I haven't been ready, but I'm ready to do that." And so while I was coming in here arguing, rather effectively about that he should be released and given a great job, I don't think that put it for him. And what I would ask you to do is take into consideration every stupid thing that he did with this young man and give him a sentence that allows him to see if he could reconstruct and build along the 6 months that he was given supply. In the event he can't, there's tighter pay for drug dealing. In the event he can, then we have done up a system where it is able to. I don't think I can make this. I don't think my alternatives that I've been asked to do are that. Whatever you feel.
So we did talk about your case in chambers, because I understood that you did have a good employment opportunity. So, I mean, we deal with folks every week of criminal court who are in the throes of an addiction issue. And so you had a significant sentence that was hanging over your head when you got probation. And so, that just didn't work. Probation was not a good option. And so if you're not going to do probation when you've got 10 years hanging over your head, it tells me that you're not thinking clearly and you're in throes of that addiction. And so I can't in good conscience just say, well, look, we're going to continue him on probation, let him go, try again. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. We're just trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So you now have had the opportunity to get sober. Now I feel like you probably are thinking a lot more clearly now than you were when you went into jail. So this is the time that we need to kind of build on that momentum. That's why I would like to see you, as a condition of this, well, my determination from this probation violation warrant is that we hold you for up to 90 days for inpatient bed space. We get you a spot in an inpatient facility. We mandate that you stay there for 180 days minimum. And then if you walk away from that facility for any reason, you don't like them, they're mean to you, whatever, that's really not going to work for me. This is kind of your last attempt to get sober on your own terms without having to just do it at SCDC, which is not any fun, I can assure you. So I'm going to require that you be held for the 90 days, that you go to inpatient drug treatment for 180 days. You cannot walk away from it. If you walk away from it, you're going to jail. And then when you successfully complete that 180 days, it will continue you on probation. Probation can offer you services. We can make sure that somebody's keeping an eye on you and offering you that structure for a period of time. Seen people in a lot worse situation than you're in and seen them turn their lives around. I mean, it can be done. Some people do it the easy way. Some people it kind of takes doing it the hard way, and it might take 3, 4, 7 times of them going to rehab before somebody finally clicks. But it's usually because they've used up all of their resources. The family isn't going to bail out anymore. Friends have had enough, and they kind of hit that point where nobody's willing to enable them to do it anymore. But we see it all the time. People are able to change their lives, whether they did it the easy way or the hard way. A lot of people say, well, you can't force somebody to go to rehab. They need to want to do it on their own. And I totally disagree, because look at you now, because you've had that period of sobriety and you feel better and you can think clearly, now you're probably a little more amenable to treatment than you would have been if we just plucked you right up off the street and sent you to rehab. So sometimes I think if you just can get sober long enough, whether it was by somebody forcing you to or you did it on your own, now your brain can start to think clearly and can start to heal itself. And there's a good bit of science that says that the rate of relapse is the same whether I force you to go to rehab or you go to rehab on your own. So I'm not ready to just walk you up and throw away the key and say, well, we tried. Let's do the inpatient treatment. I think that the people I see being successful in really living with their drug addiction, realizing that they cannot do drugs ever again, and being successful and putting this behind them, they go outside of their community for help, and they don't return back to the same community. So So I see people go to rehab for like 180 days, and then sometimes they stay and live in the, usually they've got a housing unit associated with that, they stay in that recovery community, they become leaders in that recovery community, they start helping other people, and they don't go right back to the same community where they have all the triggers that, and all people know them, that kind of makes you fall back into those same habits. So, that would be my order, whole for 90 days, 180 days of drug treatment inpatient, continue on probation at the conclusion of 180 days. Anything else I need to?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to then resolve the magistrate's issue in Sumter.
Yes.
Prior to his being sent to inpatient, whether it be hold or not.
Yeah, so I can't lift that hold. So Mr. Chandler's got to figure that out before you can be released.
And I was withdraw my motion for bond now because it was premature.
Okay, so what I would just say, because I think I have to put on his bond, I think we have to amend his bond so that he can be released to go to treatment. So,
I think that's what we have to do, Your Honor. The state has no problem with that.
so again, I'm gonna amend the conditions of your bond to allow that you be released to go to treatment, but under the same conditions, 180 days. If you walk away for any reason, that's an automatic revocation of your bond. At the conclusion of the 180 days, that you've got to report in with your attorney and report back to the solicitor's office and let them know you've completed the 180 days, and just kind of check in with them at the end.
Check in with probation.
Yes, check in with probation upon your completion of the 180 days.
Information on withdrawal.
That'd be great.
Your Honor, do you want to continue with the alcohol and drug counseling after he has completed the substance abuse in the inpatient treatment, or send him to drug court just as a?
I would not say drug court at this point, but I would say definitely continue with whatever,
Outpatient treatment is
yes,
necessary?
I think that follow-up is important.
Okay. And restructure all monies?
Yeah, because he's been in for some period of time, so let's let that, satisfy his arrearages.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Richard Wright. Well, Mr. Wright is coming up, Your Honor. That should be everyone from this batch of the jail. So I think they're gonna swap them out. I don't know if you want to take a lunch break or if you want to just keep going. It's fine. Richard Tyrone Walker Jr. He's charged with attempted murder, warrant number 2021 A1410100525, as well as unlawful carrying of a pistol, 2021 A1410100113. And we are here on the state's motion to revoke his bond with the attempted murder. We talked about this in chambers, Your Honor, so I won't belabor the facts, but essentially he was charged with attempted murder in a shooting at the trailer park in Turbyville, and after that was found in possession of a pistol during a traffic stop. Obviously, the state's contention is that he is a danger to the community. He may also have a bench warrant, Your Honor. Our computer says there's a bench warrant, but I'm not sure if that's actually true. For the pistol. It just says bench warrant. 2021 A14 ends in 113. It's unlawful carrying of a pistol.
Okay.
Judge, my client was released from bond and went immediately back to work. Been in jail for about 6 weeks. Went back to work with Super Green. It's a commercial landscaping company. He works 5 days a week, assuming the weather allows him. Works 10, 12 hours a day when he can. My 4-year-old daughter and wife lives with her. 12 o'clock, 12:45, he's driving out in the country. I see a cracked tail light. He's got 3 ounces of marijuana, and his wife's pistol is significant. Right? His bond's pretty clear. No weapons or ammunition. So, we revoke his bond. he gets on trial list, we'll be doing this in 2024 or 2025. And so I would ask the board to place him on house arrest with electronic monitoring through us in chambers. And with whatever restrictions additionally that the board would place upon him, give him a week to obtain that monitoring so that he can keep his job. Hopefully we can move on in a better fashion than we have the laws here today.
Your Honor, I want to add one more thing. I found that charge, it looks like that bench warrant was lifted in April of this year, so it just wasn't changed in our computer.
That's something Ms. Crystal would know that I wouldn't.
Your Honor, that's what it's showing in my system, that you lifted it April 19, 2022.
All right. So, I'm not going to revoke the bond at this point. I'm going to add the requirement to have a GPS, that you be monitored electronically under the following conditions: that you're on house arrest, you can go to work with verified employment, you got to show that you are in fact employed and what your hours are. You can go to legal medical appointments or church. No firearms. I mean, you understand, it doesn't matter whose firearm it is. The important thing is that it's not in your possession, it's not in your vehicle, it's not in your house. So whatever you've got in your residence, in your car, you have to get it out. I don't care who it belongs to. No contact with the victim. That's probably already a condition of the bond. So don't go back to that incident location where that occurred. And zero tolerance for any new charges, particularly if you dealing with a gun. I think these brakes are not going to just go on indefinitely.
Thank you
You're
very
going to
much.
prepare that ordinance, Jim.
Your Honor, will you be in something next week?
I will be in Horry County at least for the beginning of the week.
My condolences.
Thank you. I anticipate I'll probably be back in something by midweek, but we're going to put in there that he is going to get the monitor by August 29th. If you want to go ahead and send it to me, send me the order. Yeah, I'll be here all day. I'll be back in something probably midweek.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
This is Christian News TY. I'm Tony Conyers. If there are any newsworthy events, we will get them to you as soon as possible. If not, you can follow us on Christian News TY Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, and you can follow us on our website.
My name is Aubrey. My name is Reagan. My name is Riley.
And my name is Robert.
For the best news,
Turn down the bass.
push that button and follow us.